Okay, so this holding corporation, Porsche Automobil Holding SE, allows anyone to invest today to get up to $3 of Porsche and Volkswagen stock for every $1 invested. That seems like a good deal on face value, getting 3x the amount you put in instantly. But is it? Is it a good investment today? Well, let's find out together. The construction explained. Real quick, before I explain how this construction works and which company owns which, and most importantly how this company gives us roughly a 70% discount compared to its investment assets. Well, before that I first gotta be transparent and state that I do personally own Porsche SE stock. It is part of my model portfolio, of which I updated you all just a couple of days ago, and Porsche SE is also part of my private portfolio, so keep that in mind. I am biased. Okay, now back to the video. What is the value proposition that Porsche SE shows us and how does it work? You see, Porsche SE is the investment vehicle that the Porsche family, which is the family that originally started the Porsche car brand, uses nowadays. As a result from a series of spin-offs, acquisitions and mergers, this company, Porsche SE, is not the company that makes the cars. Instead, it's a holding and investment company which holds a couple of very interesting investments. Porsche SE has a minority stake in 9 high-tech businesses, but these stakes are relatively small, so I will not be focusing on them. But most importantly, the company owns 31.9% of the subscribed capital of Volkswagen AG and 25% of the shares outstanding of Porsche AG, which is the company that makes the cars. That right there is the true value of Porsche SE. Its holdings in both Porsche AG and Volkswagen AG. If we look at the current market cap of both businesses, which I did calculate by hand by the way, we see that Porsche AG is worth roughly 90 billion euros on the stock market and that Volkswagen AG is worth about 74 billion euros on the stock market. Again, Porsche SE, which is the top company, owns a 31.9% stake in that Volkswagen figure and a 25% stake in Porsche AG. So if we calculate the current market value of each stake, we can see that the Volkswagen stake is worth roughly 24 billion euros and that Porsche stake is worth roughly 23 billion euros. So at this moment in time, Porsche SE holds a stake in both Porsche and Volkswagen, which are worth combined more than 46 billion euros. If we compare that to the current stock market value of Porsche SE, the holding company, we can see that it is currently being valued at 17.1 billion euros. So if we just take into account the holdings that are Porsche and Volkswagen, the holding company is trading at a 63% discount compared to its assets. That is a lot of margin of safety and therefore a lot of potential return. Now, to be 100% fair to this investment, it is not really as simple as that for two main reasons. Number one, the Porsche holding structure isn't as straightforward as I have made it out to be thus far. You see, Volkswagen AG actually also owns a stake of 12.5% in Porsche AG. So effectively, Porsche SE owns a 31.6% stake in Porsche AG. Now, reason number two why it isn't as simple as I made it out to be thus far, we just talked about the assets of Porsche SE. We haven't really considered their liabilities, which of course do matter. So let's do that right now. The financials. And praise the darn Lord that these financials are pretty straightforward, at least from their third quarter earnings report. There are a lot of fancy numbers on this page, but for our investment intents and purposes, there are just two numbers we really care about. First is investment accounted for at equity position of 61 billion euros. This is what we have been talking about for this entire video. This is these two enormous stakes in Volkswagen and Porsche and those other 9 high-tech investments. But what you should know is that these holdings are being accounted for at equity, meaning at market value. So this number is what their stakes were worth on the 30th of September 2022. The second number we care about is this one, the other financial liabilities position. There is two things we should note about this position. One, it's basically the only significant liability. The other figures are so tiny, we do not need to worry or care about those. 2 is the leftover Porsche SE now carries on its books for a short while because they acquired a stake in the newly IPO'd Porsche AG. You see, Porsche SE had to pay 10 billion euros for the 25% stake. And they did that through $7.1 billion in debt, but also 3 billion of the figure was financed from a Volkswagen dividend. And all this magic financing trickery happened in October. So after the 30th of September, meaning the company was unable to correctly state this in their financial statements back then. So to get to the true current value of Porsche SE, we do need to take this number and subtract that $7.1 billion in long-term debt. And that, my ladies and gentlemen, means that we're getting a 57% discount compared to the equity that Porsche SE carries. Okay, cool. Really cool. This is the classic Seth Klarman style value investment. A holding corporation that on the stock market has a significant discount compared to its investment assets. As a value investor, this should make our saliva go brrr as if we were Pavlov's trained doggos. I just want to note real quickly that I did make an error in my last portfolio update where I stated that we were getting a 75% plus discount. That is wrong. I was using an incorrect figure to calculate the stake of Volkswagen. However, of course, in this video, I did make sure to use the correct figures. Thanks to Wout for pointing this out to me. Now there's 2 more things I want to share about my investment thesis in Porsche SE. First up, point 1, I made this very fancy Excel spreadsheet which shows us that if you were to invest €1 in Porsche SE today, you would effectively get €1.38 of Volkswagen stock and €1.33 of Porsche AG stock. Moreover, I didn't even take into account that we in fact do own a slightly larger position in Porsche AG, which if we were to use, we can see for every €1 invested, we do get more than €3 in stocks. Not a bad deal. But now it's time for the second and last point I want to share with you all. You need to determine for yourself if you want to own Porsche SE and therefore Volkswagen AG and Porsche AG. Getting a discount on stock does not necessarily mean that it is a good investment. This holding corporation will only ever have a positive return on the long term if both Volkswagen and Porsche are good investments on the long term, which since I am a shareholder, I do personally believe they are. But yeah, you do need to determine if you want to own both Volkswagen and Porsche AG stock. And if you do, buying them through this holding corporation shenanigans might be giving you a tremendous value proposition. And that's about all I have for you guys today. You can expect another episode in my series Graphite Stocks later this week, which is a series in which I hope to one day have analyzed every single graphite stock on the stock market. Selling graphite is the topic for this week. And with that teaser out of the way, time for a classic YouTuber disclaimer. While I am a registered financial advisor in the Netherlands, I do not have the legal capacity yet to give anyone investment advice. Therefore, this video and any other video on this YouTube channel can never be taken as financial advice. I cannot be held liable for the losses you make while trading according to my opinions. Please do your own due diligence. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Peace.